welcome to all of you all. Thank you, dignitaries, for those kind words and the inaugural session. I would straight away get into the session. The topic, the first topic is leveraging data and analytics for cost excellence and selling better and faster. Our speakers are Chaitanya, who's partner and consulting leader, real estate. I'll just give a short introduction of Chaitanya. He's a partner with EY and leads consulting practice for real estate. He carries 17 years of experience and has advised over 30 developers, with largest 2 startup developers as well. The focus is from ideating to design to implement and finally drive adoption and value realization. He'll be joined with Shashank Jain, who's senior manager, lead business strategy and analytics. Shashank is a senior manager at Ernst Young and carries almost a decade of experience. He started his journey in the automotive sector. In the last few years, he has been working as a trusted advisor to developers across varied business scale. Over to you, Chaitanya and Shashank. We look forward to this session.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, you are.
Great, thank you. So good morning, everyone, and warm welcome. Big thank you to CREDAI leadership and Abhishek to have us and open the marathon. Definitely an innovative idea, and we look forward to share some of the experiences of the topic today. Shashank, would you just put up the presentation? So the objective with which we are going to spend another 25 to 30 minutes is how data can create competitive advantage or drive performance improvement in real estate industry. That's the focus. That's what we want to kind of discuss. Just go next. And this is what we plan to cover. First, we'll try and discuss why data is important to our business. Second, how data has helped unlock value for real estate developers. And third, what are the steps which we need to take as an organization to create a data-driven organization. So these are the 3 broad areas what we plan to cover today. Yeah. So before we actually jump into what we want to cover, it's a small poll which we want to run. You can actually scan this QR code or go on menti.com and put that code. And they're just simple bullet point answers which you can pick up one from them. The question is, do you think data can help create competitive advantage or significantly drive performance improvement in your business? I just request all to scan this QR code, open your camera, can scan the QR code, or you can go to menti.com and put this code. We'll just give it a minute for people to kind of access this and give your responses, please. So we have already got 100+ responses, and no surprise, majority believes that data can actually help create an advantage. So happy. So that really makes our session very relevant. So yeah, Shashank, we can actually go to the presentation now. So very clearly, there's a belief that it can help. Now let's see, just go next. What do we think data can do? If you look at Netflix, when you look at Netflix, when you do watch a show or watch a movie, it starts giving you probably what are the other things which you may be interested in. When you go to Amazon and shop something, it also gives you a clue in terms of what probably you want to pair it along with. Similarly, you go to Swiggy, you go to Zomato, it gives you the past orders. So idea is there is a lot of things which are happening and the platforms are giving you that information. Similarly, in our business, just imagine that when your telecaller is making a call to a potential prospect or a customer, if he knows that this is the customer, if I call him, my success ratio will be higher. So can that insight be made available to him? Similarly, when a procurement person is making a negotiation with a vendor, can all the past information be made available to him in terms of the vendor's delivery, vendor's cost performance, vendor's quality, vendor's response to safety and health, which allows him to make a far more informed negotiation discussion with the vendor. So there are multiple areas by which data which is available can be consumed and leveraged by any role, any function, any business part to actually help unlock the potential. Some of the very simple examples or the reasons why we believe data has become a very important lever in the industry is, one is a single version of truth. Lot of organizations, we have seen that there is a challenge in getting a single version of truth. As simple as inventory. If you want to know mera kitna inventory of steel or cement is lying on a particular site, your project team may give a different answer, your finance team may can give a different answer, your procurement team may give a different answer. How do you align a single version of truth? If you want to understand the balance cost to complete or a profitability of a particular project, how do you ensure that all functions, all departments talk a single language so everyone knows what is going to be my expected profit or expected overruns or expected margins from it? Similarly, second is actionable insights. There's a lot of data today. If you look at it globally, anywhere, last 30 years, jitna data collect hua hoga, the similar amount of data has been collected in the last 18 months. So that's the power at which the data is growing. But important is, how do you make that data work for us? How do you make that data create actionable insight that people can take the next best action? So again, very simple. When you look at a particular customer, is there a way I know that these are the set of actions if I take, my probability to convert this customer will be higher? That becomes an actionable insight. Similarly, predictive cases. By knowing whatever I am doing on my site on a daily basis, can I start predicting that if there is going to be an overrun on my project in terms of a schedule or a cost? If I know that the steel prices or cement prices are changing, is there a way I can forecast how my project profitability or a cash flow is going to change? Is there a way by which, if I say that I have a limited resource, what if I focus my energy on this particular project, deploy my resources on this particular project, will it accelerate my cash flow? These become predictive use cases. So idea is, starting from single version of truth where organization talks the same language, to second, creating actionable insight where data can guide all my users to the leadership to understand what action I need to take, what project is suffering, why it is suffering, what action I need to take to correct that. That becomes actionable insight. And the third is predictability. How do I predict which customer has probability to cancel, which marketing campaign will give me a better impression, so on and so forth. So these are some of the three broad themes and broad levers which are applicable for us, and we have seen it across the value chain. So just go to next. If you look at across the value chain, all these examples are pertinent and relevant on all these functions. I think there was a conversation earlier where it was being talked about by President about value chain, right? Each and every part of the value chain, where even, for example, I'm evaluating different proposals which I need to look at to invest upon. Second is looking at design principle. What product I should launch in the market? Should it be 2 BHK, 3 BHK? Should it be 800 square feet? Should it be 700 square feet? Should it be 500 square feet? So what would be my design? Similarly, procurement projects and marketing side to the customer referral. You might have thousands of customers, but not everybody become your advocate or referral for it because of many reasons. So can I identify which are the customers whom I nudge can actually become my brand advocates and can drive my referral business?
No.
So all these are some of the examples. All these are some of the examples across the value chain. What we have seen developers leveraging data to make their entire business function far more efficient. And these are some of the examples where we have seen tangible business outcomes being delivered, right from helping them in terms of arresting any schedule overruns, reducing the procurement cost, reducing the cost of customer acquisition, driving sales velocity, and driving collections better. So these were the, I would say these were some of the experiences what we have had in the industry and across to see how data or why data is important for us to kind of invest upon. Moving to the next section, where I'll invite Shashank to talk about how some of the examples, how data has helped developers in terms of driving the performance. Shashank?
Thanks, Chaitanya. Good morning, everyone. So I'll be taking you through cases where we've seen developers leverage the power of data. So the first example I'll show you is a set of dashboards. Just to give you a context, what we've seen is typical, and as Chaitanya was saying, that it's a journey where typically organizations struggle to have a single version of truth, have consolidated, accurate, concise information being reported to the leadership. So a couple of organizations where we've seen them leveraging data well enough. So this is a chart for sales and marketing, where at a 15,000 feet level, we get a business overview of all my functions within sales and marketing. So the chart on the top left talks about my call center performance. So for every 100 leads that are coming in for each of the projects, how many leads am I able to convert to a walk-in? The chart at the top middle talks about my marketing. So what has been my spend against the spend? How many leads have I been able to generate? What is my cost per lead? The chart on the top right talks about my sourcing or channel partner management team performance. And of course, bottom left is the sales funnel and bottom right is the CRM funnel. Now, the beauty of this dashboard is that it allows us to get into the next level of detailing until the last mile, until level 4 of KPIs. So as an example for this call, probably I will be detailing down the CRM funnel to show you how we can leverage information, take insights out of it, and build an actionable plan, right? So if you focus on the CRM funnel, we can see these are obviously illustrative numbers. So the total demand due was 70 CR, out of which the total demand raised was 55. So question number one becomes, why was there a difference between some of the invoices not being billed to the customer, right? Then the second part is, out of 55 CR that was raised, 41 was collected, and my total outstanding as of date is 31 CR. Now we can drill down into the next level of detailing to understand what is the breakup of this 31 crores. Now, if I drill down further, I can see my team's performance against the target achievement. Second part is I can see project-wise view of the amount which the team has tagged as collectible and non-collectible. I can see a month-on-month collection trend, aging of the outstanding. And since I mentioned that we can see collectible, non-collectible, now this is also something which we have not seen too many developers practice as yet. Even leading developers, we see that often there is confusion as to what constitutes a non-collectible, right? So when we focus on the non-collectible part, which is for the top middle chart, you can see the bars in red font. This is the reason of the non-collectible amount, right? If I want to further understand for, say, project 1, now this entire dashboard refreshes for just project 1. And I can see out of the 3 crores that the team has marked as non-collectible for this project 1, this is the breakup. Now I can further drill down to understand if there are some defaulter cases, what's the reason behind it. Now this comes at a transactional level. This is the level 4, where for the project, I can see at a customer view, what is the demand aging? Had they completed their stamp duty? Had they completed their registration? Right. So this is one such example. Similarly, we can also look at the RM performance. Now here we can see typically when the RM is collecting the stamp duty or registration, what is the turnaround time for them? Against the target, what is the achievement for collection, stamp duty, registration? What is the historical performance been? Right. So this helps us look into the business performance, look at the manpower productivity. So how I spoke about sales and marketing. Similarly, on the construction side, now this is a typical high-level dashboard to look at my overall site performance from a construction view. So the chart on the top left talks about my project-wise the plan versus actual of the budget, the construction status, contractor performance, inventory, and then the project construction status. So if you focus on the top left of the chart, see for residential project number 1, my total budget was 400 crores. Against that, my spend is 320 crores. Now, effectively, anyone would say, my budget was 400, I spent 320 crores. So probably my balance cost to complete is 80 crores. This is where data helps us to leverage the earned value management concept to also tie up time, scope of work, and cost, right? So while probably I may have spent 320 crores, but I may have not completed the construction status as per the planned state. And hence, if I look at the amount of time that it is required to close the balance construction, my cost of construction increases by 10 CR, and hence the difference is not 80 CR, but the difference now becomes 90 crores. Data also helps me drill down to the next level of this information. So for at a activity level, I can see what was my committed cost, what was the cost complete, and where is the balance cost to complete, and where is the variance coming. So in this example, you can see because of delay maybe in civil work, there's an overshoot of 5 CR, and then of course in the other activities also there is some level of budget being overshot. Similarly, we can drill down into the other charts as well. I think in the interest of time, probably I'll refrain from getting into more details of all of these charts. The second example I'll talk about is the gamification of performance. I think a lot of times we hear from developers that they're keen to also monitor and drive the employee productivity, be it on my cost side or the revenue side levers. So just to take an example on the revenue side, my sourcing guys or my sales team is often given a target, which is a lagging indicator, say that they have to get X number of bookings this month. But what we find being absent is a roadmap being developed to achieve that target, right? So if, for example, if I have to sell inventory worth 50 crores this month, then so I have to create a funnel, right? So for selling 50 CR of inventory, how many visits do I need to have? To generate those revisits, how many walk-ins do I need to have? Accordingly, how many channel partners should I be touching base in order to be able to have those many number of walk-ins? So what we do is we break this journey down and we give targets at these micro journeys, and we help the team monitor these targets at the respective journey points. So this is what you can see. These are the speedometers. And the beauty of this is that the sales manager or the sourcing manager can see, is there any particular metric where I'm lagging behind? Because if these are building blocks, if any of these metrics I fail to catch up, I will lose the overall picture. I will lose meeting my overall target. The end result of this is we publish a leadership dashboard where for each of the employee, we show the points, the rank, change in rank, and of course, then there is gratification also, which can be monetary and non-monetary. So we've seen that typically this also kind of helps create competition within the organization, helps create a bit more excitement around achieving their targets, as they know that it will help me sell better, faster. It will help improve my performance. And also there is somebody at the top who's monitoring.
I'll just add to what Shashank said. The power of gamification has been deployed for multiple roles, multiple developers, multiple functions. And across, we have seen it has positively impacted the behavior of the users and positively impacted the business performance. Yeah, sure. Back to you.
Yeah. Thank you. The third case is customer propensity to purchase. Now, this stemmed from the fact that we were talking to a developer where there were large volumes at the call center and on the site. And of course, manpower was limited, right? Because this was during a launch period. So the problem statement that we tried to solve here is can we develop a mechanism wherein we are able to identify which customer has a higher probability to purchase from us. Hence, if I have 1,000 customer leads with me, I have a pattern to identify that which customer I need to call up first, which customer I need to be focusing more in terms of follow-ups, the amount spent on the call also to nurture that lead. So this is something that we had done for a developer as a proof of concept. Uh, the developer was receiving about 3,000 walk-in inquiries on a monthly basis during the launch. So when we deployed this model, it helped us identify those customers who were more likely to purchase, and we tagged those customers as hot, right? Typically, what happens is the sales managers use their subjectivity and experience to tag customers as hot, warm, cold, and then they follow up on the hot leads. Through this model, we were able to identify customers who had a high probability, tag them as hot, and we were able to increase the conversion ratio to book inquiry from inquiry to booking by almost about 2,500 basis points. So that was a significant impact we guys were able to deliver only and only by leveraging the power of data.
I'll just add one simple point. We all believe experience is extremely important in making anything better and effective. And this is what exactly data does. So when probably we see that there are a lot of new people join, talent is a big challenge in our industry. How do we ensure that we are able to learn from whatever you've done past, convert into a knowledge, and build that as an experience and make it available for all the people? If you have 5 sales manager, all 5 sales manager will not be equally effective. Can we learn from the best of what we have, make those principles, make it available for all the people, so that that becomes a initial fillip. It gives them an initial launch pad or a start that they can become more effective. That's what power of data is. And that's what is an example to say what Shashank talked about, either gamification or this predictive analytics. This is the way experience starts coming in and helping organization and creates an organization performance. Back to Shashank.
Okay. I think the last two cases, again, very interesting. So this case is on performance marketing. Typically, we see developers have agencies on board, and then those agencies run campaigns on behalf of the developers, and then the campaign is tracked. So often we see that, so some campaigns land, some don't land, right? And then there is a lot of post-mortem, I would say, on why the campaign didn't work out. Did we have the right targeting in place, or was the call center effective enough to convert the leads generated into walk-ins? So one such example was that for one of the launches, this developer had hired an agency, and the agency had promised to deliver 10,000 leads in a period of 2 months. What happened was the first month went by, and the agency was only able to deliver about 2,500 to 3,000 leads. So of course, the developer also got worked up, saying, 50% of the time has passed, and we have not even met 50% of the commitment. So the next month, what the agency did, they kind of opened the tap in terms of the campaign settings, and as a result of that, they were able to meet the 10,000 leads that came in. However, what we noticed was during this journey, we enriched a metric called qualified leads. So we started monitoring the performance of the campaign and the agency by this metric, which was to say that while, of course, how many leads generated is important, what is also important is how many of those leads are qualified. And by qualified, what we mean is those leads who are interested to purchase a residential property, having a similar budget, looking for a house in a similar vicinity or a micro market, right? And only if the pre-sales team is checking these three boxes will we say that the lead was qualified, and henceforth we will start monitoring campaign effectiveness, agency effectiveness on this qualified lead metric. So the result of this was when we started monitoring this qualified lead, the number was quite low. It was about 30 to 32%. Over a period of time, understanding data, understanding qualified lead data, and running campaigns basis the qualified lead actually helped us over a period of time to take this number to a good 50 to 55% qualified leads. And hence, the impact of that was we were able to convert more qualified leads into site walk-ins. And the last part is analytics and customer research for product design. This is a very interesting case for me. Typically during product design, what we do is we speak with architects, we speak with channel partners, we do competition visit also to understand what to build on the land parcel, what product type, what configuration, area, pricing, so on and so forth. So what we did over here was we introduced an element of gamification. So this product we developed where, we all would have seen, or probably our children would have played Monopoly, Lego. We use the principles of Monopoly and Lego to create a game for this customer research, which would be played by the customer. So here what we did was we gave customers some non-real money. Say we gave the customer 1 CR and we gave the customer a board to design his apartment. So the customer had the chance to say that, okay, I want my living room to be 200 square feet. I want my bedroom to be X square feet, kitchen, this and that. And of course, each of them had a value towards it. Now, the intent was once this value gets exhausted and the customer is still left with something more that he or she wishes to purchase, they start trading with what they already have. And this is where the insight comes from. That once the customer really starts to trade off, they let go of the things which are good to have for them for the things which are a must have for them. So when we ran this actually gave us a lot of insights into the product design in terms of the layout the customers are looking for, and even the amenities that the customers are looking for. A good insight of that was for one of the products that we ran this campaign for, this research for. The developer was very keen to have a swimming pool as one of the marquee amenities in the society. When we ran this with the customers, I think most of the customers traded the swimming pool with some other amenity that time, be it an office within the society premises or like a temple or something else. So that gave a lot of good insights to us to be able to design the product, which helps in better market acceptability and commanding a better price premium. Chaitanya, anything from your end to add?
No, perfect, Shashank. Yeah, we can move on.
All right. Okay, so having said that, I think probably just a question again to check the pulse from the audience. Given what we've discussed so far, be it the dashboards or some of the other use cases of data, keen to hear that as how well is your organization currently leveraging data? So I'll request you to scan this QR code. There's one question which will pop up on your screen. to fill the answer. Alternatively, you can go to the site menti.com, enter the code, and you can answer the question. We'll just take a pause for a minute for you to record your responses.
Yeah, Shashank, I think we can move. I think majority clearly reflects either it is a transformation need or a scope for enhancement.
Great. So I think happy to see this. And I think post-COVID also, I'm seeing a greater realization on part of our developer fraternity in realizing that digital and data is extremely important to scale and deliver. So now that we realize that there is definitely scope for enhancement, we'll talk about what it would take to get there, right? And some of the challenges that we need to counter.
Shashank,
Yes.
sorry to butt in. We're actually running, we've overshot the time. So if it could be wrapped up.
Sure. Okay. So I think then I'll probably come to the last slide. Journey for us that we need to follow, that we can follow to develop a data-centric organization. So the starting point is identification of users. Typically, we've seen that when it comes to reporting, the same report is looked at by some executive level, and the same report is looked at by, say, the leadership level, right? So clear demarcation of the users and understanding for each user what are their needs and wants, right? So a promoter may want to look at information differently for sales and marketing versus say a sales and marketing head or say a CRM head, right? The level of depth would differ. So identifying users, creating the user journeys, understanding what their requirements are. And this is irrespective of what my system process can deliver. First, we start on a blank page. Basis that, then we map what do we currently have as a part of our processes and systems. Whatever the systems and processes can deliver, we build on that. Parallelly, what we do is we start also enriching our processes, systems, and KPIs to build them in the system. Once they're developed in the system, we roll it out, and then there should be on-ground adoption so that information is fed in a timely manner, accurate manner, and it's reliable. So I think I'll probably take a pause here. Largely, this is what we had to say. Chaitanya, any other thoughts on this slide before we probably close?
No, I think this is fine. I think since we're running out of time, only one point, it is irrespective of whatever systems, applications you may have. Idea is we all have been running our businesses, set of processes. How do you unlock potential from your current existing way of doing work, enhancing that and unlocking the power of data? Yeah, Shashank, I think we can close. Maybe you can just share coordinates.
Yeah.
Super. So what a power session to start our marathon series. Thank you, Chaitanya and Shashank, for sharing those insights.